Okay, I'm starting this video blog, but I figure I probably should share my story before I just go off and post something. So I'm just going to start by saying, for people who don't know who I am, my name is Stephanie Nally. My husband and I, we have been married for almost 2 years. In April, we'll be married 2 years, and this is our dog Bailey, who, again, thinks he needs to sit in this chair with me every time I sit here. So, where was I? Blake and I have been married for almost 2 years. We found out we were expecting our first child in February of 2011. Wasn't necessarily planned, but we were excited. We were ready. We weren't sure really where this life was taking us. This was a new chapter of our lives. We were getting married in a few months. But we were excited. I mean, I had everything ready. The moment I got that positive, I think I took a few more tests just to make sure I was pregnant. But I went shopping. I started shopping for Bentley. Well, we didn't know it was Bentley at the time, but we started shopping. People kept telling me I was crazy. I needed to stop buying so many things because, you know, we just needed to wait and find out what we were having. Well, we found out in June of 2011 that we were having a little boy, and his name was going to be Bentley. We had gone into that appointment knowing we were either going to have a Bentley or a Haley, and we left that appointment knowing we were having a Bentley Charles Nally. At that time, I was 20 weeks pregnant. I was due October 31st, a Halloween baby. Had a picture-perfect pregnancy. Nothing was going wrong. Kept being told I'm young, you're healthy, everything's going great. Was so anxious. His life was planned for him, I swear, by the time he was 20 weeks. But Blake and I, you know, naive to everything in pregnancy, felt great. Everything was going fine, ready to go. Showed up for my 38-week appointment, and our world came crashing down. Blake and I walked into that appointment, you know, going into any ordinary appointment. Bentley had been moving fine. I had been dilated for a couple weeks. I thought, hey, I'm going to be having a baby soon. Little did I know that that appointment was going to change my entire life. At that appointment, I had gotten to my appointment that day, and the doctor had told me that he just wanted to do an ultrasound, that he, you know, the baby wasn't being very active, but he wanted to do a test and see, you know, what Bentley was looking like. So we decided to go down the room. He took us to a room to do an ultrasound. And I was probably on that table for a whole 5 seconds before the ultrasound tech just got up and ran out of the room. Still, I was really nervous at that moment. I hadn't been nervous the whole time because the doctor didn't really seem nervous. But in that moment, I was like, whoa, what's going on? Blake and I were both getting so anxious at that time. Probably about 5 minutes later, the doctor walks in. He has a box of tissues in his hand, and he tells me that... he says, Stephanie, I'm sorry, Bentley's heart isn't beating. And I am like, what? What are you talking about? Blake's like sitting there screaming at the doctor. I'm screaming at the doctor. I'm 38 weeks. Like, what could be wrong? He goes on to explain that he's not really sure what's going on. They think it could be the cord, just by looking at the ultrasound, but they wouldn't be certain until I delivered. In my mind again, I'm thinking, deliver? What? What are you talking about? My baby's going to be born. Bentley is fine. He instructs me to go to the hospital and that they're going to begin induction. So I get to the hospital. I'm still not really sure all of this. It's not really sinking in. It doesn't really make sense to me. We talk about it. We confirm there is no heartbeat. What's the plan from here? Come to find out, you know, this happens a lot more than what I had ever thought that it had happened. Blake and I chose to go ahead and stay at the hospital and begin induction. And I delivered Bentley the next day, October 18th, 2011, at 3:54. He weighed 6 pounds, 19 inches, and he was beautiful. He was perfect. He had his dad's toes and my hands. He definitely had my nose. And he, I think, would have had Blake's red hair. Not 100% certain, but it looked red, more so than Chase's does. But he was born still. He didn't make a sound. He didn't cry. He didn't move. That wasn't how I thought that our first pregnancy was going to go. It wasn't how I thought my life was going to be. But Bentley, he may not have lived outside of my stomach, but he lived a life. And he is our baby boy. And he is my firstborn son. So this blog, this journey that I am taking now in 2013, I'm still living Bentley's life. Blake and I are his hands and his feet. And one day, we're going to be reunited. You know, still not quite sure why this had to happen. But, you know, we'll figure it out when we get to heaven, I guess. It's the easiest way I can think of. It doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make it, you know, any easier to swallow on a daily basis. But Blake and I are going to get through this together. We have made it almost 15 months on this journey. So, in my mind, we're survivors. We're survivors of losing our baby. And that there is a huge, huge loss. No parent should have to bury their child. So we're learning this path. We're still learning. We would like to help others learn. We are learning after other people. So this is why I created the blog. A video blog gives me a little bit more opportunity that I can capture things I'm thinking in the moment versus having to remember and go back down and write them down. So, I don't know, something new, 2013, trying something new versus the blog that I did last year. So I just wanted to share my story briefly. I do have my blog that I will be posting as well and giving the links for so that you can also read the journey of our last year. And now we're video journeying in 2013. So again, my name is Stephanie. I have a beautiful son named Bentley, and I have a beautiful son named Chase, and my husband, who is amazing, and then we have this bad dog named Bailey. But we are a crazy family of 5. And who knows who knows what everything's going to hold for us. We're taking one day at a time. But here's to 2013.